Hello friends, happy Thanksgiving from your pal Bones. This day is often celebrated with turkey, the Macy's parade, and if you're insane, camping out in front of Target the next morning at 3 a.m. It's called Amazon. Stay at home and use it. Well, you might think here at Halloween Central we'd celebrate with a Thanksgiving horror movie. Unfortunately, all the movies fitting that exact category that I found on my search all kinda suck. And by kinda, I mean they're absolute shit. The closest we can get to a spooky Thanksgiving movie that's any good is the second 90s Addams Family movie called Addams Family Values. So let's see what makes this a good Thanksgiving movie for people who live Halloween. The film opens with Morticia about to give birth to the third child. As she enjoys the pain of childbirth because she's an Addams, the other two kids roll their eyes at a kid who really believes the lie that every parent tells them about where babies come from.
I left a diamond under a leaf in the cabbage patch, and the diamond turned into a baby.
You're gonna have a hard time in biology class, my dear.
Our parents are having a baby, too. They had sex.
There's a girl with honest parents. So Morticia gives birth to a baby boy, and the next part is naming him.
We went through all the books, all the usual baby names.
Lucifer,
Benito.
Mao,
And then we came to our senses.
Pubert.
Pubert.
I would have chosen Lucifer myself. Well, it seems Wednesday and Pugsley aren't too happy with there being another baby in the house, and thus begins the chaos of an Addams sibling rivalry, which means them trying different ways to off little Pubert. But as you'll see in this whole movie, this baby is the luckiest little guy ever. Instead of Pubert, they should have named him Plot Convenience. Well, Gomez and Morticia decide that the best thing for Pubert is to hire a nanny. They finally hire Debbie, a classy woman who instantly puts the moves on Uncle Fester. Although Debbie seems great at first, something just seems off about her. Like she has some hidden agenda, which, spoiler alert, she does. Since Wednesday picks up on Debbie being suspicious right away, Debbie comes up with a plan to get rid of the nosy daughter by convincing Gomez and Morticia to send her and Pugsley to a summer camp. Unfortunately for the brother and sister, the plan works and they get trapped in Camp 1% Yuppie Hell. But normal people just call it Camp Chippewa. It's a place filled with overly enthusiastic counselors and rich kids, including Harmony from the first movie. She gets a bigger part in the sequel as Wednesday's mean girl nemesis, which, suffice to say, led her getting typecast in the Buffyverse. Hey, when you know what you're good at. As you might have guessed, the Addams kids don't fit in here at all. This is usually shown through bits of dark humor. Some will get a kick out of this, while others will no doubt be offended. If you're one of those people, grow a backbone. The bright spot for Wednesday is meeting Joel, a nerdy outcast who hates camp as much as she does. The two start to grow fond of each other. Misery loves company, after all. Joel is also the one who tells them about the Black Widow, a serial killer who marries rich bachelors and kills them for money. Sounds an awful lot like what Debbie might be plotting. Meanwhile, Debbie and Fester get engaged. Now this is suspicious as they just met a few days ago. A few days later, the wedding is held with Cousin It playing the priest. Hilariously, if you watch the DVD with subtitles, it actually says, "Speaks gibberish" for Cousin It. On the honeymoon, our worst fears are confirmed as Debbie repeatedly tries to kill Fester. But as an Addams, he's apparently unkillable. At least, I think so. The movies don't exactly stay consistent on what, if anything, can kill an Addams. So any sense of dread is a bit confusing to grasp. But when Debbie fails to kill Fester, she instead forces him to cut himself off from the rest of his family, which actually causes Pubert to get sick. But he's an Addams, so how bad could it be? Oh no! He's become a Chad!
He could become a lawyer,
I won't listen!
an orthodontist,
The master.
president.
Well, he'd be an upgrade from the current one, so there's a positive. Back at camp, the counselors put together a play about the first Thanksgiving. Harmony is cast as the lead pilgrim, and Wednesday is cast as Pocahontas. But to get Wednesday, Pugsley, and Joel to be willing participants, the counselors subject them to the worst kind of torture imaginable. Disney movies!
Bambi, the Little Mermaid.
Stop it.
He's only a child.
And the movie Disney just bought. After hours of enduring the torture, Wednesday cracks and the cheesy Thanksgiving play can proceed without a hitch. Little do the counselors know, though, that Wednesday has her own play in mind.
You have taken the land which is rightfully ours. Years from now, my people will be forced to live in mobile homes. Your people will wear cardigans and drink highballs. I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
that's an Addams Family Thanksgiving. After Wednesday and Pugsley escape, Debbie tries once more to kill Fester, this time using a bomb to blow up the house with him inside, but of course Fester survives this. Finally, Debbie snaps as she has had enough of her failed stealthy attempts.
No woman in her right mind could love you!
But before she could shoot him, as if that would work, Fester gets a daring rescue from Thing, who drives him straight to Gomez. The clan is united once again, causing Hubert to return to his old self, mustache and all. But gasp! Debbie invades the house and prepares to execute the family and take all their money. Debbie, however, makes the classic villain mistake of explaining her evil plot first. This gives Baby Plot Convenience time to work his magic and send the electric shock away from the family and back towards Debbie, turning her into a pile of ash? Sheesh. This whole scene reminds us to not take this movie too seriously. Logic doesn't apply here. The sequel is less predictable than the first, and I feel that it takes the franchise in a new direction. Though I can't help but feel that Fester being the root of the drama again is kind of a rehash. Some jokes aren't that funny, but overall it is an entertaining, spooky comedy to watch for Thanksgiving. So watch the parade, stuff your face, and proclaim what you're thankful for before you wake up early tomorrow to fight people for new stuff. Or don't do that last part. Sleep is nice too. Well, goodbye friends!